White pines are important to many kinds of wildlife, and white pines are a symbol of forest.
Stop those unfairly traded imports from taking jobs away in the U.S. marketplace, and particularly to stop the import of semi-finished steel called slabs that competes directly with Minnesota taconites.
When you go over to these developing countries and you see the forms of mobility that they do have, and if you imagine a child or even your own child or grandparent having to drag themselves through mud, through dirt, rocks, old dusty, rusty wheelbarrows, makeshift wheelchairs, and when I think of that here in the United States, that's not something I can even imagine.
Encountering a bear is becoming a common event for some Northlanders, and sometimes the meeting isn't pleasant. Just ask Daniel Spring of Cameron, Wisconsin.
He was on me and he slammed me right up against the door.
That bear ended up killing his dog. Daniel was lucky to receive only minor injuries. More and more people and bears are calling the same areas home.
We're now to the point where we have more bears in Wisconsin than we want, and we've had a very liberal hunting season in the last couple of years, and will again this year to purposefully reduce that bear population.
A bigger bear population in the area, coupled with an intense desire to eat, and the stage is set right now for confrontations.
The breeding season is over, and after the breeding season, bears go into literally a feeding frenzy to put on weight before winter comes.
Blessed with very poor eyesight, bears have a keen sense of smell. They can pick out a morsel of food from more than a mile away. And let's face it, we humans are a great source of odors. Our garbage cans, picnic baskets, and even bird feeders are a smorgasbord that animals have learned to target. Make no mistake, bears are afraid of people, but some have grown accustomed to handouts.
If they associate, through experience, food with humans, they're probably more willing to tolerate that concern of a human in exchange for the reward of food.
Jason Rice, News 6.
$100.
My gosh, that's an awful
I'm
lot.
gonna take my rebate money from the government and buy good shoes for my sore feet.
Barbara and Donald Pratt haven't received their sales tax rebate check yet, but they say their money's already spent. For starters, a down payment on their Arizona winter home. The Pratts and others who qualify for a rebate should get their checks by Labor Day.
I really love to have that money. I need that money so I can. I'm retired and I need that money.
But not all taxpayers are sharing this excitement. Some people are playing it safe. They're not getting too pumped up until the green stuff arrives.
I think maybe so. Maybe, it's been a long time, so maybe it has died out a little bit. You just aren't excited about anything until it really gets there now.
We really haven't been too excited about it. I mean, it's just something I guess we kind of take with a grain of salt.
But the refund wait isn't the only thing spoiling the excitement. Some people say they have no idea how much money they're getting back, but actually it's pretty easy to find out. Now, you can get an estimate of your tax rebate by logging on to news6online.com. You'll find a link to state tax information and calculate a ballpark figure of how much you're getting back. The state's in the process of sending out the $1.3 billion in rebate checks. And for taxpayers like the Pratts, the time can't come soon enough.
I feel that we're going to get that money and it'll be here by September.
In Duluth, Corrine Winter, News 6.
Action!
8 local kids are getting in on the action and a chance to meet hockey stars Brett Hull, Derek Plant, and Jamie Langenbrunner.
Yeah, I've seen him on TV.
Now, Ben Leese will be seen on TV too, in a new public service announcement to be aired nationwide during election season this fall.
We're going to start rolling. You just keep looking at the guys. Roll tapes.
The hockey players are telling kids to score a goal for democracy and vote.
You try to do things to help the community, and if you can help, whether it's kids voting or any other thing you do, you try to make a little time for it.
Brett Hull and his teammates say it's a fun way to get out an important message to kids.
Yeah, it's great to be able to come back and work with some of the kids and have some fun with them, and fun to work with Brett and Jamie at the same time. And
well, it's a great cause and a great opportunity for us to get out and help out in this way, and it's been a fun day.
While the kids say it's pretty neat to be on TV, they're most excited about meeting their hockey heroes.
I think it's pretty cool that I was one of the ones that were picked for the 8 kids that were picked.
Ready? Roll tape. Go!
It's pretty cool because a lot of other people don't get to, and because we get to, it's kind of special.
Some parents couldn't resist getting a few autographs too.
Here, I got a couple more for some friends. These were signed, but if you could put to Janelle on them.
The public service announcement will be another way these 3 hockey players can use their star power to make a difference.
If you get a couple kids to vote.
On this rainy day, the dreams of 5 Cloquet teens came true. They're watching builders apply the finishing touches on a skating park they've pushed to get for the past 4 years.
We just kept getting kicked out of area skate spots, and we thought this was the best way to go about it, just to get a skate park, a legal place to go.
The 5 Cloquet high schoolers put their minds together, talking to anyone who would listen to their concerns. They needed a place for their sport, but they didn't have the cash for a park like this. It did not look promising, but just like their approach to skating, they were willing to jump a few obstacles. And it paid off.
I thought it was gonna be, but everyone, you look in the donation cups and there'd be $20 bills, and it's crazy. People wanted us off the streets, which is a good thing because we got this now.
This was actually a really unique situation. They did a great job raising the money.
They've raised $21,000 in the past 4 weeks, and they're not done yet. But more than anything, these kids say they're trying to change people's attitudes about inliners and skateboarders.
And it's working. We've had a lot of support from places that we've been kicked out of and by the cops, and everybody's supporting us.
In Cloquet, Jason Rice, News 6. Jason Rice, News 6.
We still have the trophy from last year, but we're trying to get it again this year.
For Nikki Brayman and her friends from Portman Community Center, the pressure's on. They're the defending champs in the citywide sand modeling contest. And they've got a challenging sculpture in the works today. It's a character from the movie Tarzan. Temperatures in the 60s this morning didn't hold anyone back from having a blast on the beach.
Not really, because I'm not sure the sun sort of warms up after a while.
The kids from Lakeside are facing some tough competition. Just down the beach, the crew from Lafayette Community Center has a monstrous creation underway. It's a shark. They've even got a real shark's jaw to give them a design to follow. And kids from several other community centers are also mounting a challenge.
It's supposed to be killer shark, and this is what it is, and that's what it's supposed to look like.
The progress is slow at times because the artists have an eye for the wicked waves that seem to creep ever closer to their models. The kids make frequent pit stops for play, but the big kids keep at it.
We need more water, guys!
After a couple hours, the job is done and the masterpieces are complete. Now it's up to the judges to decide whose day of fun turned out the most impressive work. At Park Point Beach, Jason Rice, News 6.
Got one time around.
When you have a hardy, any kind of a hardy rose, you're going to want to. It's likely it will. Yeah, right. But then if some of it doesn't.
Well, we're hoping our Rose Festival really gets people out to enjoy the rose garden that maybe haven't been out yet this year. And we're also hoping that it encourages more people to start gardening with roses. We think roses are an excellent addition to any perennial or any shrub garden, and we're hoping to encourage more people to do it.
Everybody's just laid back, relaxed, having a good time and enjoying themselves.
Doesn't seem to have made a difference for the retail outlets. I mean, this is the way they had to do it, and even if as sloppy as the grounds are in that, I mean, people are enjoying themselves and they're coming out. I think. Skylar Graves on to get
time. Yes. Blues time. Little thing by the late great.
At approximately 5 a.m. on August 8th, arsonists burned a 1977 Pontiac Trans Am that was parked near 16th Avenue East and 5th Street. When the fire department arrived, the car was completely engulfed in flames. Within 10 minutes of the first fire, a Chevrolet pickup parked near 10th Avenue East and 3rd Street was set on fire. Gasoline was used to start the pickup on fire, and arson investigators believe that gasoline was used to burn the Trans Am.
If you know who set fire to these cars, call Crime Stoppers. You could earn yourself a reward and you will remain anonymous. Our numbers are 1-800-974-TIPS or 723-ENOUGH. That's 723-3683.
Clearly, any time that there's an increase in discretionary income, anytime there's a good economy, it usually bodes well for tourism. And the fact that there's this additional promotion that's widespread throughout Minnesota will benefit not only business but government as well, as it helps to retain those tourism dollars within the state of Minnesota. So.
Been?
Very loud, very bright. I guess it's getting somewhere now. The roads are kind of tore up, but it's going.
Has it been a pain?
Yeah, basically. Wakes the baby up at night.
For residents living near Central Entrance, the sounds of bulldozers and backhoes are replacing nighttime lullabies.
Well, when they got the lights on, it's like it's noon. Baby gets up screaming, jackhammers are going. Actually sounds like they're having a big party outside. You can hear them all talking, and it's awful.
It's starting to get used to it now, but it's still really loud. I actually told them to turn the lights down one time. It was pretty funny.
But while some desperately seek peace and quiet, others say the construction chaos is boosting business.
If anything, we've been a little bit busier with deliveries because people don't want to fight Central Entrance. We get calls for carryout, and they say, where are they doing construction? Can we get through tonight and whatever. I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. It's not hurting us too much.
There's a lot of people that have arthritis, and it's a very bad disease, and I feel that if I can run, it's a great cause, and I'd love to train for a marathon, and it's a great cause at the same time.
And how has the community come out to show their support?
Really well. They think it's a great cause, and they think it's a great thing that I'm doing.
One last question: how long will this be going on, and is there any way anyone can help if they can't make it out here today?
Back to school shopping just got a lot sweeter for some families this year.
You want the ones on your feet?
Yeah.
These ones or these ones?
Tax rebate checks are in the mail, and that's money for parents getting their kids ready for another school year.
It's been really helpful since, one income family, and really came at a good time.
Good news for parents, even better news for kids who have a little more freedom to shop.
I like those ones.
Do you like those ones?
I like the little ones.
Well, he gets to pick out basically what he wants today.
Yeah, so I'm compared to last year. This is the key back right over here.
The Chef family isn't the only one enjoying the extra cash.
Managers here say back-to-school shopping is always a busy time, but they have noticed a significant increase in school shopping these past few days, with more families paying with cash instead of plastic.
Got some jeans and all the shirts I wanted. It was perfect because now we're done with our shopping, we get in and out, and we know it's paid for, and we're not in debt.
Parents say school shopping has never been easier. The kids are happy, they're happy, and they still have a little extra in their wallets. In Duluth, Corrine Winter, News 6.
Guys! Okay, open it. This little one just sneezed.
Stick right inside.
Put your hand inside.
My wife said she's never made someone bottles, even having 4 children, as we do with the animal industry. But just the hands-on, the touching all the time, they just love people. Put your hand right inside and hold it flat. You will not bite you.
Here, you want to feed the little one now?
Never have enough.
Real tight, okay?
Really hungry. Guys!
Okay, open it. Okay, open it. You're making it so smart. Okay.
I like practicing, but I wish I could play.
13-year-old Billy O'Connell likes football, but he couldn't hit the field with his friends last year in the local pony league. The rules said he was just too big.
And it seems so ludicrous to say you're too big for a game where they need body types of all sizes.
The weight maximum was 170, which Billy now exceeds by almost 100 pounds. But his parents Dan and Junie say that rule was discriminatory.
Seeing Billy where he really wanted to play football and he couldn't play, it just hurt me, and I thought, well, we got to do something about this for him and for all the other kids in his situation.
Kids who just want to play.
Because it's fun. The game's fun. I like the game.
But this year, things are different for Billy.
Good. Good to see you.
Ready to have this registered?
Okie doke.
Insurance form.
The league has dropped the weight restrictions.
Billy's signing up for the Bears.
It's been a battle off the field for the O'Connells, who gathered signatures in support of the weight change. And as they fill out registration forms instead of petitions, they're happy that more kids will be eligible.
We're just happy everybody gets to play. And the coaches with the Pony League have been real good about giving us an experimental period of time to let everybody play, again, use good judgment, not let big guys line up against real little ones.
The coaches will be taking special care not to let too many of the bigger players on the field at one time, and there will be an extra quarter for the smaller kids. But this way, everybody gets a chance.
Billy's the one who will be real excited on that first game day when he gets to finally go out in front of Mom and Dad.
In Superior, Kim Kaiser, News 6.
It's the part of town that Steele built, and residents are well versed in the neighborhood's history, a history that today is marked by a steelworker strike.
You hear it in the community all over the place about the old steel plant and what they brought into the community and how it got started. I don't think that ever went away. I don't think it ever will go away.
There's a lot of concern in the plant throughout everybody. I could tell we're worried about what's going to happen.
The steelworkers are picketing when they'd rather be earning a paycheck. Soon, school will be starting for their children, and union member Brian Oman says it's a bad time to have questions about his income.
That's a hurt too. Looking for supplies for the kids, they want their clothes, their tennies, and here we are.
The honking on the street is music to the strikers' ears. It means they've got support from their community. And every time they reach for refreshment, they're reminded of that. Local 1028 is getting a hand from many local businesses, and neighbors pitch in what cash or food they can.
It feels absolutely wonderful. The support is just overwhelming. We didn't anticipate the support like it is, but it overwhelms all of us. I mean, we're out here and we're proud of it.
Even their tent is donated by a friend in the area. Right now, the weather is cooperating. So too are many other local unions. But with no talks scheduled to iron out differences, the roadside along Commonwealth Avenue may be their job site for a while.
What happens if it gets to be a long time is we just keep fighting. We'll just keep it up, keep out here. If we have to be in our snowmobile suits and packs, we'll be here.
In Gary, New Duluth, Jason Rice, News 6.
There you got it. For the first half of the show today, a blistering account here on Lunch with the Governor for the hypocrisy of the St. Paul Pioneer Porn newspaper.
They'd come to see the governor of Minnesota, hoping he just might offer an autograph, knowing this was the first time Lunch with the Governor would be broadcast from the fair. They heard the governor expound about his critics.
The St. Paul Pioneer Press are a bunch of hypocrites. From top to bottom.
The governor read from Pioneer Press editorials and columns criticizing his participation in the world, called the newspaper hypocritical.
At the end of Tom Powers' column are no less than 5 ads for pornography in the Pioneer Press newspaper.
Folks listening checked their copies and showed off the ads.
These are all the ads that are in the Pioneer Press newspaper on pretty much a daily basis. So are they not in the pornography industry?
They heard the governor say he would cancel his office's subscription to the Pioneer Press.
I'm no longer going to refer to the Pioneer Press anymore as the Pioneer Press. I'm going to refer to it as the Pioneer Porn.
Well, it's very important because it brings people to realize that they need to do something about the violence, and they need to, start remembering the people who are still grieving too.
And I think people's sense of safety has been seriously diminished in our country, and people have been allowed or enabled to hurt people and frankly get by with murder, a lot of them. It's a real scary situation, and not everybody follows the same set of rules.
This first day here of game week, we want to try to get those people in those new positions.
Where's Elvar? Elvar! Come here.
We'll build on that from today on through Thursday.
Cut it way back.
The minute the ball is even twitched, you should be gone.
2 left divide, 45 slant on one, ready?
The scrimmage was their baptism of fire, Esco and Hermantown and Cook County.
Walling, who are you blocking that time?
Right, Ray blocked his guy into me and I wasn't quiet.
Okay, then you stood and watched, right?
Yeah.
Go find somebody else.
The younger kids usually come to me with questions of understanding the defense. So, 2 choices.
So if I'm getting
one,
blocked, get out to the outside.
get some help from the inside, force to play inside.
Alright.
Okay? You can demonstrate and tell them until you're blue in the face, but until the light bulb turns on for the younger guy, then they'll realize what us coaches are talking about.
So you just want me to take sideline for right now?
Yes, sir.
Steady. Hut! 1,001.
1,002. 1,003. Nice job. Nice blocking.
All right, take a lap around that goalpost back down to this side. Make sure the block's down here.
And now we're facing the St. Cloud Tech on Friday, so there'll be some kids waking up, so to speak.
Hut! 1,001, 1,002, 1,003.
Nice job. Get some water, fellas. Nice job. Woo!
Go, boys. Good job.
Yes, sir.
Not too long ago, the beach along Park Point was the hottest spot to be. Now the beach is empty, except for a few lone vacationers.
Well, actually, we're just spending the last few days before school starts for our children. And we always wanted to come up here, and we figured it's a good time to get away.
Last blast before school starts, yeah. Get the kids out, last vacation and a little time away to unwind.
Canal Park is another summertime getaway, but the scene there has changed as well.
The popular summertime wardrobe of shorts and t-shirts is now replaced by a light jacket and a pair of pants. And the ice-cold refreshing drink is now replaced by a warm cup of coffee.
And we sell more warm stuff, we sell more coffee, we sell more soup, we sell less ice cream. Middle of winter, you don't even carry ice cream.
Although summer really isn't over yet, many people are ready for a change of season.
I don't know if it's the weather or if it's just the anticipation of winter, but people are looking.
Looking at everything from hats and gloves to skis and poles.
We've got stuff for cross-country skiers, downhill skiers, snowboarders, all ready to go.
And ready or not, summer will soon be over, and the cooler temperatures are on the way. In Duluth, Jody Grayson, News 6.
And I go up and I teach, occasionally and visit a class, and that's okay. It's just the volunteer. No, I don't. But I do know that the governor has said that he'd really like to see it be in Duluth. I know that we have Duluth, Minneapolis, and Rochester, and I'm told that he said that Duluth would be his choice if we could do it.
corner, you gotta go by the maggot. Oh, yeah.
It takes a truly dedicated hunter to brave the warm temperatures and take on the mosquito brigade that resides in our Minnesota woods, but it's a penance people are willing to suffer for the chance to shoot a black bear. Even though this season holds the promise of a record bear population, that doesn't guarantee success.
All we've seen, we had one guy came in this morning and he had one smaller, younger bear, probably about 100 pounds. And that's the only bear that's come in for registration so far.
I've had this bear bait out here now for 2 weeks, and it's been pretty slow in this area. I haven't had a hit on it yet.
Unlike hunting for other species like deer or grouse, preparation for bear hunting requires an extraordinary degree of work and dedication.
A lot of time and a lot of miles baiting and finding the right spots.
And like many hunters found out this morning, the bears might like the free preseason buffet, but they certainly don't have any sympathy if your work goes unrewarded.
Oh, bear baiting is well, it's just like anything. It's just like fishing. I mean, 1 minute they're there and then they're gone. Like you say, you can be baiting them, they'll be coming in, and then 2 days down the line they'll shut off, depending on the weather. So it's not as easy as people say it is.
Success or not, trying to keep a seasoned bear hunter out of the woods is like trying to feed a cow a cheeseburger. And every day without a bear is simply more encouragement to try harder the next time.
Come on back tonight and we'll show you one. Hopefully.
In Duluth, Craig Zleeman, News 6.
We're gonna try to have a picnic, do something like that. So, time for everybody comes around and be together.
At this Labor Day weekend carnival, parents took advantage of not going to work and being with their kids instead.
Yesterday we had a big family picnic and we went to the Duluth Zoo. Oh, we had so much fun. And then we had a big family picnic at home and barbecued ribs and potato salad and the whole 9 yards.
This day, it's mini donuts and cotton candy, and plenty of fun on the menu, with rides that spun kids silly, or a big red fire truck. And don't forget the games. Games for kids and for adults, like this Labor Day softball tournament.
My wife and daughter down here watching. My parents are down here, so it's kind of a family thing too. Everybody, a lot of people out watching.
It's the last weekend before they have to go back to school, enjoy their school time. So we're just going to spend the time with them now.
We're trying to get out the word about unions in general. Steelworkers are here from ME International talking about their strike that's currently going on over in the Gary neighborhood. And some politicians are here who are endorsed by our unions are here to promote themselves.
About the conditions. We don't have any more signs yet.
It's our celebration. It's Labor Day today, and Once a year we get together supposedly for a day off. Most of us are working pretty hard, but it's a chance to renew acquaintances, say hello, and share some common stories about things that we've done in union movement.
I won't go into what I've gone through with my client.
Are you confident it will be agreed upon tomorrow?
I am confident we'll know one way or another by tomorrow morning.
It takes another day, another week. What's the difference? We went so long that...
When Katie Poyer's grandfather, Lloyd Simich, left Hope Lutheran Church yesterday, he thought it might be the last night he would have to wonder about Donald Blum's role in Katie's disappearance.
Volunteers for Katie.
The new day brought hope of a plea in which Blum would confess.
It's going, but nothing official yet.
But with each phone call to volunteer headquarters, it became clear it wasn't going to be so simple.
If I hear something, give me a call. You're at the office? Okay. All right. Holstrom got mad, walked out.
When Blum's attorney walked out on the proceedings, dejection was apparent at the church.
And it does get frustrating. Anger, batting our heads against the wall isn't going to speed it up.
Volunteer Janice Larson has been here since the beginning supporting the Poyer family, and after 105 days is still making ribbons for Katie.
Even with not knowing what news we're going to get, whichever way it goes, we will continue on with them. Just, we want everyone to remember Katie.
He did? When?
And with frustration at a peak, the call comes in that negotiations with the federal attorney are back on. So too is the wait.
From the time of the abduction, it was within 2 hours that he strangled her.
In the coming days, we will likely hear words thrown around like closure and healing. But tonight, Lloyd Simich learned the gruesome details of his granddaughter's murder, and no words are going to make that go away.
Okay, Dad, that's enough.
I had a little anger that came out with it, so
Stop it.
it's sometimes a little better than crying.
Early this evening, authorities broke the news to Katie Poyer's family at their Barnum home.
They confirmed that Katie was murdered.
News that was somewhat expected, but nevertheless hard to take for the volunteers at Hope Lutheran Church in Moose Lake.
We still have a lot of people around offering each other support, which I guess we all need now, and we are going to continue giving it to each other, but most of all, continue giving it to the Poyer family.
It is support the family will inevitably need, support for which Lloyd Simich says he will be eternally grateful.
All these people that out there fought the water, swamps and mud holes, mosquitoes, wood ticks and whatever, I can only say a thanks for myself and from the family.
At least we've learned to love each other. I know.
Hugs and tears are common at Hope Lutheran Church in Moose Lake ever since Katie's disappearance. But it's different now. Everything's different for Katie Poyer's family since they got the devastating news last night.
The news wasn't what we wanted, but in the beginning, I asked God to bring her home no matter what. And we got her home.
I spoke with Pam Poyer today. She's a mother feeling every range of human emotion right now. Sometimes her spirituality brings her relief.
It's the prayers that really affected me because they came from all over and I could feel it.
Other times she feels deep anger at a system that she feels allowed all this to happen.
We have got to look at our laws. We have got to look at people that are out there. Donald Blum was in jail. It was the system that let him out.
volunteers for Katie.
Katie's brother Patrick answers the volunteer hotline. Many of those who helped search are calling to offer their sympathy. For the first time in 3 months, this room is not bustling with volunteers tying ribbons. It's strangely quiet. Moose Lake is a changed community today, a bit sadder, perhaps a little more cautious, but certainly very tightly knit. Tonight, the sanctuary at the church will be filled by a community remembering Katie and keeping her spirit very much alive.
You know, I carry the button around, I was going to throw it away, but instead of saying, "Find Katie," let's not forget Katie.
In Moose Lake, Jason Rice, News 6. Six.
I didn't know that 800 people were going to come.
I'm going to push as hard as I can. And if it means going to the president, I'm going to do it. I'm young. I'm going to do it. I think Katie wants it that way. I have to make Katie proud.
That we have got to look at our laws. We have got to look at people that are out there.
Pam Poyer has faced the ultimate loss, and she's angry that the system designed to protect, in this case, didn't.
Donald Blum was in jail. It was the system that let him out.
Pam's frustration, Donald Blum was sentenced to 40 years for kidnapping and rape in 1976. He was out 2.5 years later.
It's safe to say if he had committed these offenses in the 1990s, he couldn't have been out to allegedly commit this one because he'd been into 2030.
Former prosecutor Mike Freeman looked at Blum's record. He says Blum slipped through the system just before laws got tougher in 1990. Still, there were other offenses since his first prison term, and this may be a starting point for the Poyers' crusade for justice. They'll have some help from a family that's felt this same pain and anger, the family of Paul Antonich. Both families feel the legal system has let them down. For Katie's family, the system that set Donald Blum free was given multiple chances to identify a threat to society.
I'm going to push as hard as I can. And if it means going to the president, I'm going to do it. I'm young. I'm going to do it. I think Katie wants it that way.
Jason Rice, News 6.
Kind of giving the church their room back. They've been so gracious.
They were packing up, turning what for 102 days had been a headquarters for search volunteers back into a Sunday school room.
Try to save them as much as you can, Deb.
Len Simich from Chaska and Sister Deb Cramp from Mankato are Katie Poyer's uncle and aunt.
This was the soil map, right, Len? Right. How about this one? What was this one?
They didn't have to be at Hope Lutheran Church today, but most of their extended family were. Patriarch Lloyd there at lunch, they welcoming visitors, receiving hugs. The family figure volunteers searched for Katie Poyer for 20,000 hours, in addition to those hours that investigators looked, and Department of Natural Resources firefighters who spent 3 weeks searching. This was probably more of a trying event than a lot of things we've been involved with, wildfires and other types of natural disasters. This type of a human disaster seemed to kind of hit us a little deeper. Area Forest Supervisor Brian Garvey said the firefighters received stress counseling after that search, that it was an unusual experience. And we had Katie's picture with us every day for a couple of months. We all kind of fell in love with Katie, and you know, she's a part of everybody's life. Always will be. Always will be. Uncle Len Simich says a big group of volunteers had planned to search the banks of the Kettle River tomorrow. Now that's off, and he was clearing a message board.
These have been on so long, they don't want to come off.
Of course, perhaps Uncle Len didn't want some of it to come off.
No real reason.
No real reason, other than the fact that Katie Poyer is a part of everybody's life and always will be.
ask no questions. You will make no comments. You will simply do as you're told.
Danger and intrigue, Soviet spies wearing fur hats and toting large guns. It's not what you'd expect to find in the town of Brainerd, Minnesota. But according to recent news reports, the area is home to a secret stash of KGB weapons, radios, and money, just like a scene from a movie.
It's a 7.65mm pistol.
And that's a KGB gun.
That's according to a former KGB records keeper who is now sharing top secret documents from the Cold War. Reports say there's a stash of KGB weapons in Switzerland. And where else but central Minnesota.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I'd like to go out looking for it, I know that.
At the West Side Cafe, folks are thinking more about dinner.
Just the cheeseburger?
Than KGB secrets that seem more fiction than fact.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
How about you? You think it's a possibility?
I don't think so. I think it's a big hoax.
I thought they were crazy. That's what I thought, but it's possible.
Possible, if you can imagine the right underhanded scenario for international espionage in Brainerd.
We got a military reservation just down the road from us, you know, which they could get lots of information from if they infiltrated. We got microwave towers around and stuff that could be blown up.
So will folks take up metal detectors to hunt for hidden treasures of the Cold War? Well, they're thinking about it. In Brainerd, Kim Kaiser, News 6.
You think you're on and you're short on this one.
I'm very surprised at the number of cancer patients that do utilize our services here in the Duluth office. And the Duluth office is a regional office, so it not only serves Duluth, but Superior and the Iron Range and up the North Shore. And so there's quite a large geographical area that we cover.
See?
Oh!
Woo!
There you go, Tommy. You do it your way.
Making this easy.
We're 100. Way short. Come on, sit on a car.
So much for my trip to Germany.
Oh,
Very nice.
you know, it's between yours.
The boys for 32 years. It's relaxing, it's fun, really enjoy it.
Every September, Bob Boutel and his teammates polish up their bowling balls and shoes and hit the lanes ready for some action.
It's a chance we haven't seen each other all summer, and it's a chance for us all to get together and, you know, spend the winter together. And not a whole lot to do in the winter in northern Minnesota, so.
One night a week, these bowlers focus on form and style, with nothing on their minds except the 80 feet of lane in front of them.
You got to figure out the lane, so there's a little mind game to it too. Usually, after you've bowled for a while, you should be able to read a lane pretty quick. If you can't, you're in trouble.
Talking to Duluthian Alden Lind, you'll hear a man who's disappointed.
It makes me terribly sad to know that now I've got to worry about whether I'm harming my grandchild and feeding him fish. What kind of a question is that to be wondering about?
He recalls the days when he'd fish local streams and lakes, and he could eat his catch. Today, the state of Minnesota has issued a fish consumption warning for nearly all lakes. Fish are one way people can ingest potentially deadly amounts of mercury.
Primary sources are the burning of fossil fuels and the burning of incinerated materials.
Dr. Gary Glass at the Environmental Protection Agency says the big mercury contributors are power plants and taconite facilities. WLSSD has done away with their incinerator that was once a polluter. In the process of burning fossil fuels, the mercury element becomes airborne, eventually washing out of the atmosphere when it rains. The bad part is, mercury doesn't go away, it just collects. In some parts of the Great Lakes, mercury levels are 6 times higher than what scientists say is safe. Now, Northland taconite producers and power companies are taking notice of the mercury threat, looking for solutions.
I think that came as quite a shock to the taconite industry. I don't think they ever saw themselves as being the source. And I think it shocked them into some realization that they better have a very serious look at their emissions.
The taconite and electric power industries are looking at ways to clean up their operations, move away from coal in favor of the cleaner burning natural gas. Meanwhile, environmental groups are hoping changes can be made before the mercury situation gets worse. In Duluth, Jason Rice, News 6.
And he's a great father. Great father. My kids are devastated. Just ripped their little hearts right out.
Tia Love says she and her 4 daughters don't know how to cope with the loss of her husband.
I knew he was gone, but I didn't want to believe it.
At her rural Douglas County home, the weather was as bleak as her emotions. Tia can only look to her friends and her beloved horses.
This one here, he's Elby, my little baby.
To help her family get through this difficult time.
He helps anybody. Take his shirt off his back for you.
Tia's husband Luke was helping her friend Cheryl Hartshorn Monday night when he went to her home to pick up Cheryl's daughter.
Luke went over to my house to pick her up, not knowing that Carl was there.
Carl Hartshorn shouldn't have been there. His wife had a restraining order against him. Investigators say when Luke Love arrived, Hartshorn shot him in the chest with a 12-gauge shotgun, and then he turned the gun on his daughter's boyfriend. He shot him in the thigh when he tried to go for help.
It appears what we have here is a man who is just so angry, and he's just not going to let anybody tell him what to do or what not to do.
And now Tia wonders what she tells her 4 children.
You just tell him Daddy's in heaven and he's always our guardian angel. That's all you can tell him.
In Douglas County, Kim Kaiser, News 6.
Welcome him on February 1st in session as we resume in St. Paul. And with that,
hope to be a successful run through the general election, and look forward to working with the House DFL caucus and the many fine people that are employed by it to assure that the residents of District 7A continue to be represented by a Democrat, one that hopefully will carry on in the fine tradition of my predecessor. As Tom mentioned, I hope to continue on my central themes of education, the environment, and
the community. You can go down the street and pick out the houses where either their dog has been sick or they have been sick.
Donna Laritz is waiting for test results that could show she is another victim of a fungal disease outbreak in Mountain Iron.
I have pneumonia with a low-grade fever and the cough.
In South Grove, her peaceful neighborhood of quaint houses and well-groomed lawns, there have been 10 confirmed cases of blastomycosis, a rare disease contracted by humans and animals from spores. They come from a fungus that thrives on moist, acidic soil. Donna says both of her neighbors have the illness, and her husband and daughter have pneumonia too. She, like other neighbors, wants to know if more families have been exposed.
We've both been sick in the last couple of weeks, so don't know if it's related to that or not, but we want to find out.
Now state and county health officials are also trying to learn what caused so many cases in this area.
Health officials will be testing soil samples and looking at nearby streams, but they might not find evidence of the fungus. That's because they think most of the cases were contracted in July during a hot and wet summer. And now that it's cooler, they say there's no increased risk.
Residents have also been concerned about recent construction sites in the area. Experts say those sites no longer pose an unusual risk.
There's nothing unusual about this, that we shouldn't all rush off and try to be tested. There's no way to test for this. There's no way to know who will become ill and who won't.
Because of a 45-day incubation period, more people in the neighborhood could still show symptoms of blastomycosis. But health experts want to stress that there's no longer a higher chance for contracting the disease now. In Mountain Iron, Kim Kaiser, News 6.
Selling a whole bunch of crack. Few bucks. You go up any one of these streets, the side streets, they're parked on both sides.
We even gave them license numbers. We gave them names, people that were dealing. Not one of them has been touched.
As long as there's a gag order there, I'm better off not discussing anything to make sure that we don't get into anything that I'm not supposed to talk about. And I don't want to be paying any fines.
We need stuff back there.
We're going to remember Katie forever. We will never forget Katie.
At Hope Lutheran Church, volunteers are busy preparing food that will be brought to Barnum High School for the service.
We hope to serve around, or maybe a little over 2,000 people.
Just down the street, final flowers are being arranged before delivery.
There's stuff probably from places people don't, haven't known them. They just known through the